Yeah.
That's kind of...
Yeah, we don't need to really be any more technical than that, wouldn't you? I can make it very technical if you want to, but I'm guessing you wouldn't.
No.
The
hands is...
It's fine. I'm a big fan of using hands, as you know. So let's use our hands then, and let's break it down into chunks.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the silver Mercedes. This is us.
Okay.
This is our starting position, if you like, where we are now. So chunk number 1, we need to pull away safely, and we need to get alongside that car.
Yeah.
Okay. So talk me through what you're going to do then. And I'll do it as you say it with my hands.
So look around, and then pull away, but pull so you're going onto the other side of the road, and then straighten up so you're next to that car.
Yeah, we don't need to be pinpoint perfect.
No.
Just as long as we are approximately next to the car. We are going to go back, but why do we need to be alongside the vehicle rather than starting from back there, do you think?
Because then when you reverse back, you'd go like down back here.
Well, you would. It's more about safety, okay? Because when you're stopping alongside it, what you can do is you've got an idea of what's going on around the other side of the car. Whereas if you stop from back here, you don't know if there are any kids or anything playing around here that might then come and run round the back of the car. So it's just so that you've got a good view generally of what's over there, and also you've just driven past, so you know what's back here. Yeah. So what do we do then? What's the first thing we're going to need to do once we've got ourselves next to the target vehicle, if you like?
Check what's happening around you.
Before that, how would we know? How would we let other people know that we're about to reverse? What happens when you put your car in reverse?
Lights come on.
At the back, yeah?
Yeah.
So reversing lights come on?
Yeah.
What colour are reversing lights?
White?
Yeah.
Oh,
they are. And they're the only lights that are white.
On the back, yeah.
So anybody that's driving up from behind us is expecting us to start going backwards, and hopefully they're not going to get so tight up behind us that we can't go back any further. If they do, we just have to drive on and find somewhere else. Yeah. So if you do get anybody coming up from behind, as long as you've got your reversing lights on, don't panic.
Yeah. Okay.
Don't rush through it. Okay. So we now let everybody know that we're about to go backwards. What do we do next?
Check. To make sure it's safe to go backwards.
Great.
And then turn the wheel to the right.
Before we do that, because we want to make sure that as we angle the car back in, we're definitely not running the risk of clipping the back of that car. To begin with, we'd go back about halfway.
Okay.
Just in a dead straight line. Okay, so no steering at all. Then we need to start angling the car so that the back is going towards the curb. So which way would you steer to get it to do that?
Well, you go left.
Yeah, because we want the back of the car to go to the left.
Go to the left, so you go to the left.
So you steer to the left. Okay, and you tell me what sort of an angle you think would make sense.
45 degrees.
Right, okay, good. Is that just a guess, or do you know that, or is it just based on...
Well, because if you're going to go 90, that's going to too much, but like, it's in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. Again, it doesn't need to be bang on 45 degrees. You know, we're not going to get whatever that thing's called, going back into my maths days, that measures a protractor, that's it. You know, we're not going to get a protractor out and measure it. It's about 45 degree-ish.
Yeah.
Okay, it might be 40, 43. If you want to think about it in terms of a clock face, you've got 12 o'clock at the top, then 1, then 2, or 10 minutes, whatever. So roughly that sort of an angle, but then we need to fix that angle just for a moment, because if we don't do anything with the steering wheel, we'll go 50, 55, 60, and we'll carry on going round at an angle.
Yeah.
So once you're around about 45 degrees, just turn your steering wheel back in the opposite direction so the front wheels go from that to that.
Is it to the other side?
We don't want to go all the way back round.
No, but like, so you're 45 to the left, right?
Yeah,
So you're like that.
yeah.
Then do you go like that? Or do you just like straighten up?
Yeah, you just straighten up so your front
Just straighten
wheels are pointing straight. So we'll be at an angle, but our front wheels
Are
will be
pointing
pointing straight at that same angle.
Yes,
So
yeah, that's
we
fine,
go
yeah.
back, we'll go back at an angle, but
But your wheels are straight.
in a straight line, if that
Yeah,
makes sense.
that makes sense, yeah.
Not very far though, because we're not going to have an awful lot of space to play with at that point. And then we need to figure out a way of knowing when the back of the car is about to bump the curb, and we want to get it almost as close as we dare to the curb without it touching. So any thoughts on that? How are you going to...
Mirrors.
Could be in mirrors, yeah. So if you... Sometimes it helps if you just raise yourself up in the seats a little bit. You can get a better angle down.
Yeah.
Okay. You can use a combination of the mirror and the camera as well. And different people do it in different ways. So we're going to figure out what works for you, because we want to try and get that bit consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, so you always know when you then need to start bringing the front of the car in. So we've got chunk 1, which is that bit.
Yep, yep.
We've got chunk 2, which is that bit. And now we've got chunk 3, which is bringing the front of the car in and finishing the whole thing off.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon then? What's involved in chunk 3?
Well, you want the front. You want to kind of go straight back.
Yeah, so we've come back at an angle. We're nearly...
Need to straighten up.
Okay, so what are we going to do with the steering wheel? What are you going to do with the steering wheel then? Because now we want to bring the front of the car in.
Go the other way. Go to the right.
Yeah. Again, don't worry too much about full lock steering, one full turn or any specific amount, but we do want to bring the front of the car in quite quick. So you just turn the wheel rapidly, but the car is barely moving.
Barely moving, yeah.
So
the wheels though.
yeah, we're almost sort of just pivoting
Yep.
the front of the car in. So we'll hardly go back any distance at all, but the front of the car will come in. At what point do you want to stop bringing the front of the car in? Because if you
When you're like,
when you what, sorry?
when you're in line with the car in front.
Yeah, so when you can see, like we've got now, we can see that we're absolutely perfectly in line with that car.
Yeah.
So basically when you've got the same image as you've got in front of you now, we're just going to be closer.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's it, basically. And then